Merry Christmas, my friends. Hello, Monsignor Joe Celano, the pastor of Immaculate Conception Church and the director of Immaculate Conception School and Immaculata High School. You know, mental health professionals tell us that this season is extremely difficult for millions of Americans. Crisis intervention hotlines are flooded with calls. Hospitalization for mental illness rise. And despite the best efforts to put on a good face, many people just push through these days feeling profoundly stressed, lonely, and sad. You know, without a doubt, it would be nice to celebrate Christmas with something that looks like peace on earth, goodwill to men. It would be nice to sit down at a dinner table in peace with a family that is intact, without the sometimes overwhelming stresses we all experience. If employment was secure, if disease did not threaten to make this the last Christmas for one of our loved ones. It would be nice to live in a world where nations strive for peace and justice with as much determination as they do for prosperity and political dominance, where neighbors actually know each other's names, where we can send our children to school without fearing for their safety. But sadly, this is not the real world we live in, nor is it the real world into which the Son of God comes. The Lutheran pastor Dietrich Bonhoeffer once wrote, "We have become so accustomed to the idea of divine love and God's coming at Christmas that we no longer feel that shiver of fear that God's coming should arouse in us. We are indifferent to the message of the coming, taking only the pleasant and the agreeable out of it, and forgetting the serious aspect, that the God of the world draws near to the people of our little earth, and that he lays claim to us." If his words sound like a departure from the usual pleasantries of Christmas, then you need to know this. He wrote them in his prison cell, as he was awaiting execution for his opposition to the Third Reich. Bonhoeffer reminds us that this coming of God to the world is not a story that should begin with the words "once upon a time," as if it were some fairy tale. The event of Christ's coming into the world has happened in history, and it has forever altered history's trajectory. Nothing can ever strip this event of its power to shatter evil and to change the human heart. This is the fundamental message of Christmas, indeed of the gospel itself, that God comes to us into the real world in which we live, the world of human hopes and joys, of suffering and of tears. God comes to irrevocably lay claim to us, as Bonhoeffer said, and thereby he gives us a reason to have hope. You know, the church is about to embark on a Jubilee year of hope, beginning on Christmas Eve 2024 and ending on the celebration of the Epiphany in 2026. These Jubilee years occur generally every 25 years in the life of the church. We are pilgrims of hope, as we will be reminded throughout the coming year. Hope is this shiver of fear before God. In the coming of Christ, we realize that small and insignificant as we are, God draws close to us. Each one of us is precious and unrepeatable. Each one of us is claimed as God's own. It is my prayer for you this Christmas that you will be shaken to the core, as Bonhoeffer said, by this message of hope, and that you may know, in spite of whatever sorrows, burdens, or fears you carry, that God draws close to you, and that our hope is now realized in the child once born in poverty and obscurity in David's own city of Bethlehem. May hope shake you to the core this Christmas, and may we shake the world with this same message of the God who irrevocably lays claim to us. Merry Christmas, my friends.